When the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, our west coast became a potential combat zone. Living in that zone were more than 100,000 persons of Japanese ancestry, 2/3 of them American citizens, 1/3 aliens. We knew that some among them were potentially dangerous, but no one knew what would happen among this concentrated population if Japanese forces should try to invade our shores. Military authorities therefore determined that all of them, citizens and aliens alike, would have to move.
Well, I was 17 years old when they interned us and put us in. And at that time, I was very disturbed that I was a young kid then, that why we were put into these camps. And I was an American citizen, just like my Caucasian buddies that I went to school with. So that really bothered me that we were put into these camps.
Notices were posted. All persons of Japanese descent were required to register. They gathered in their own churches and schools, and the Japanese themselves cheerfully handled the enormous paperwork involved in the migration. Behind them, they left shops and homes they had occupied for many years.
Can you imagine being uprooted and only able to take what you could carry? I mean, not knowing what your future was going to be. And I was young yet, so I was more resilient. But for my parents, my mother, who had been widowed just a year or two before that, I think how hard it must have been for her, not knowing. And I was young yet, about 14, 15 years old. So I started and I graduated high school in camp. But we went to Tule Lake first, and they made that more or less a segregation center. Mm-hmm. So we left that Tule Lake, and then we were sent to Heart Mountain, Wyoming, which was so cold. And icicles used to hang like 2 feet from the roofs of the barracks, It was dry, windy, dusty.
And these camps were very nice places. They were actually prisons.
It was not pleasant, I must say. We were first sent to Pinedale, and it was so hot that we all said, well, now we know what it's like if you get sent to hell. I mean, it was really miserable.
Is that your husband? Okay, so she's my dad. Was that your dad? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. I do think that it made us stronger people, and our faith in America still was there. So when I was in high school, they wanted us to get out of the camp and relocate and assimilate into the American community. I wrote an essay, and I was one of the winners of that. And my theme was for the sanctity and dignity of human life, that we had to get out of the camps and start life. And I think to this day, we all have to have faith and face the future, make the best of it.
Tell me what you'll think of when you look at this wall in the future.
Well, right at the moment, I'm very elated that the younger generation, my children and grandchildren, saw the legacy of what we went through, and I'm very, very elated in that respect. But I'm saddened that so many of my comrades that sacrificed so much, as well as my immigrant parents, that I'm saddened that they're not here to be able to see this and celebrate with us today.
I still think there's a lot to be done as far as discrimination, and I think we need to be a lot more tolerant than what we are.
To know what they went through, and then to see all these beautiful names go up as a tribute. It's wonderful.
Perfect. Excellent work.